What's going on, America? I'm the right-winged angel, Oliver Mack, and in this video, we got to talk about Jordan Neely. Now, if you're not familiar with this story, Jordan Neely is a black homeless man who died after he was put in a chokehold by a white Marine. Now, of course, whenever you have an incident where a black man dies at the hands of a white man, no matter what the situation is, the media has to deem it racist. And then you'll have your Black Lives Matter activists coming out and all your other woke activists coming out claiming that this is injustice and that this man should be arrested no matter what, even if he defended himself. So I want you guys to check out the story from CBS New York. And while the video is playing, I'm going to give my thoughts and opinion on things that they say, because you know CBS New York is a very, very liberal news outlet. So let's check this out.
New calls tonight for the arrest of the Marine vet who put a fellow subway rider in a deadly chokehold. CBS 2's Allie Bauman is live outside the Barclays Center where protesters will gather. Allie.
Well, Dick, it's been nearly 24 hours since the medical examiner deemed Jordan Neely's death a homicide and ruled it was the chokehold that killed him. But that alone does not automatically mean this case will be prosecuted. The NYPD and district attorney say they are investigating, but tonight many are asking why no one is under arrest.
I mean, just because death is ruled a homicide, that doesn't mean that the person is supposed to be prosecuted. That doesn't mean that the person is murdered. If you kill somebody in self-defense, their death is going to be ruled a homicide. But that doesn't mean that you should be arrested. The media could be very, very misleading and try to give you your opinion and try to make sure that you see things the way they do. So they'll try to frame things in that way. And as you can see, the media also, just like these protesters, feel like this man should be arrested.
This is a Marine veteran who should have been able to de-escalate a situation without somebody losing their life.
A handful of...
Now, why do they always talk like that? When they talk about cops who have a situation where they had to take someone's life because that person was threatening a cop's life or that person was a threat to someone else, they'll always say, well, the cops should have been able to de-escalate the situation. De-escalate the situation. Why don't we ever look to the people who are the aggressors instead of looking to the people who are trying to defend others and telling them, well, you should have did it a different way?
Protesters stood outside Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg's office Thursday, calling for the arrest of the 24-year-old Marine veteran who police sources say choked Jordan Neely to death on the subway Monday.
Now, I don't know. Let me back it up. You guys can't see this picture because they blurred it out, but the media keeps talking about this white man who put the chokehold on Jordan Neely. Well, there's a guy right here who was holding, I'm sorry, you can't see it. The guy on the top, I was pointing, and I'm like, oh, y'all can't see me pointing. But the guy at the top of the screen, he was holding Jordan Neely down. And then there was another guy who was also holding Jordan Neely down. And the other guy actually looks like a black guy. Either he's black or he's Hispanic, but I know he's not white. So they keep talking about white supremacy, white supremacy. This is racism. But the other guy who was holding him, that guy is definitely not white. So how is this white supremacy?
Neely to death on the subway Monday.
It was a clear violation of his civil rights.
Neely was a subway busker and
you don't get civil rights when you're threatening other people.
Michael Jackson impersonator, who sources tell us was homeless with a history of mental illness and more than 40 prior arrests.
So I don't care who he impersonated. These people keep going to this Michael Jackson impersonator thing like we're supposed to be so impressed. He used to perform for money because that's all he could do. This dude was a bum. He was a homeless bum on the street. And he was trying to get money any way he can by doing these performances, not going out there and getting a real job like regular people. He just wanted to be a bum on the street. So no, I ain't got no respect for this person being a Michael Jackson impersonator. Anybody could do that.
This isn't a symbol of how badly we've failed as a society on so many levels. I don't know what is.
According to...
Okay, I hated that statement. So just because this guy was assaulting people, threatening people, and some good Samaritans actually tried to restrain him until the police arrived, that is the result of a failed society. let me think about that for a second. The fact that we have homelessness running rampant in cities like New York and Houston and Los Angeles, big cities like that, I don't know if that's a failure of society, but it's definitely a failure of government. So if you want to talk about somebody failing, then you should look to all of your politicians, all of your local politicians that have allowed homelessness to run rampant. Vicious, violent, homeless people to torment and terrorize innocent citizens on the subway and in the streets. So it's not a failure of society, because if society had its say so, in my opinion, I believe that we would outlaw living on the street, round everybody up, and put them in jail. And if they can't get it together, then I guess they're going to spend the rest of their life in jail. Because there's no way it should be legal for people to just live on the street, for people to live on corners, for people to put tents under bridges and create a whole town of tents under bridges because they don't want to live, they don't want to function like regular Americans, regular citizens. So yes, that would be illegal. And if society had its way, that's what we would do. But no, the failure is on the politicians. That's why this is going on.
The police sources 5 911 calls were made in the span of 3 minutes from the subway car where Neely was killed. The first caller at 2:27 p.m. reported threats were being made by...
Hold on. I want you guys to pay close attention to these 911 calls. And then after you see these 911 calls, you're going to wonder to yourself, just like me, why are they protesting?
A passenger. Then that a passenger had a knife or gun, though police said no weapon was ever found. The third reported a fight on board, then an assault in progress, and the final caller at 2:30 said threats were being made by a passenger. Police...
Okay, so let's review the 911 calls, because I think that's very, very important. The first 911 call. Caller reports threats are being made by a passenger. So I'm sure the threats that were being made by Jordan Neely. Then, in the same time frame, caller reports passenger with a knife or gun. Now, maybe they thought he had a knife or gun. I'm not sure. Caller reports a physical fight on board the train. Okay, so someone was being assaulted. Maybe someone responded while they were being assaulted, and then a fight ensued. Caller reports an assault in progress. So all these things, we can't see the other one. Let me see if I can back it up so we can see the other one. But nope, the words are in the way. So caller reports threats being made by a passenger. I don't know if you guys can see that, but all these things happen within a 3-minute, all these calls within a 3-minute time frame. So that means that people were calling in 911 frantic because there was something going on that the police needed to be there immediately. So what it seems like to me is that these good Samaritans, the Marine and these two others, took matters into their own hands, because you cannot trust the police to get there on time. And that's why it's important for people to carry guns. The police are not going to get there exactly when you need them to be there. They could be trying to get through traffic. They could be handling other cases. Like, you just never know. So that's why sometimes people take matters into their own hands. This is what's called community policing. That's what the BLM protesters called for, right? They wanted to defund the police, and they wanted us to police our own communities. Well, this is what community policing looks like. When the police can't get there in time, the citizens have to act. The citizens have to do something to stop a threat. And Jordan Neely was a threat to passengers on that subway train. You can sugarcoat it all you want. You can call him a Michael Jackson impersonator who never did anything wrong to anybody. You could try that, but that's not the truth. You know he was assaulting people. You know he was violent. So the Marine did what he had to do to make sure that the people on that subway train were safe. The thing that I wonder, why isn't anybody else speaking out about this? There were many people on that subway train. There was a person who recorded the video that we all saw, or that some of you saw. If you haven't seen the video, by the way, you can see the uncensored version if you go subscribe to my Instagram, and I have it on my Right Winged Angel Unleashed Telegram. You can see it there, because I can't post it here or on Instagram because they'll take it down. So anyway, there was people recording video, There were people, I saw a woman that was recording the video behind the woman, in front of the woman who was recording the video that I saw. So we have people recording. We have people that were bystanders that saw everything happen. Why aren't they speaking out? Why haven't we heard from them? Why isn't the media trying to find them so they can find what really happened in the story? So they can either confirm or deny their allegations about the 24-year-old Marine? Why aren't they doing that? Oh, I know why. Because they have a narrative that they want to get out there. And their first tactic, bombard the American people with their narrative and then have that fill the minds of everyone. So when they actually discover the truth, nobody wants to hear it.
Made by a passenger. Police questioned the 24-year-old veteran who was seen putting Neely in a chokehold, but released him shortly after. Sources say the NYPD is still investigating and in contact with the district attorney on how to proceed. Why in this case would police have to wait for the district attorney in order to make an arrest when there are plenty of other cases where police make an arrest as soon as they can when someone dies? New York Law School professor Anna Kaminsky.
The prosecutor's office now is involved in the investigation. They are involved in thinking about, what happened here, what charges, if any, should be brought. And so the police are going to respect that and work together with the prosecutor's office as opposed to just unilaterally making an arrest and then bringing those charges to the prosecutor's office.
This is a feelings over facts point of view about this situation. So we just need to, their perspective is, we just need to arrest the man. They just want him arrested. That's what will make them feel good. Just arrest him. They don't care about the facts of the case. They don't care about what actually happened, because in their minds, they feel like a white man killed a black man. And whenever a white man kills a black man for whatever reason, it could be self-defense, it could be the black man was trying to molest a child and the white man killed him because of that. Whatever the reason is, if a white man kills a black man, it is automatically deemed as racist. So they need to get this racist white man off the streets. So they don't care about the situation. They just want him off the streets and arrested based on nothing but his skin color and the skin color of the victim. That's not the type of society I want to tell my son about, where we judge people based on the color of their skin. We're supposed to be against that. I thought Martin Luther King said we're supposed to judge each other based on the contents of our character. Now, if you're looking at the contents of someone's character, let's look at the contents of Jordan Neely's character, shall we? By the way, when Jordan Neely died, he had a warrant out for assaulting a 67-year-old woman. He actually broke her nose and orbital bone. So you don't think that this man was also assaulting people when he was killed? You don't think that's a possibility? If he had already had a warrant out for his arrest for doing it to somebody else? You don't think that Marine saved someone's life by putting him in that chokehold? I'm sorry, but I don't feel sorry for Jordan Neely. Not one bit. That is not an ounce of me that feels sorry for Jordan Neely. I actually feel sorry for the white man, the white Marine, who's now going to have his life destroyed. And I'm pretty sure DA Alvin Bragg, Alvin Bragg, the one that indicted President Trump over some trumped up charges, no pun intended. That is the man who has this white Marine's life in his hands. You don't think that he's going to arrest him? You don't think that he's going to charge him with murder? I think he will. And it's going to be a miscarriage of justice. Well, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please hit the like button, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. All right, I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.